Welcome to another video of Acharya Nidana Academy. Today we are going to discuss the concept of Dhatupaka. So before going into the description proper, we need to know about some of the basic concepts that we need to concretize as usual. So whenever we want to have a deep understanding of any of the subject, we are talking about the Ayurveda. Whenever we want to have a deep understanding of Ayurveda, first of all, we need to have a blending of physics, chemistry, and biology of Western science and the Ayurveda fundamentals. So, to have that, we have to practice the concept of minimalism. When we want to have a minimalism in the sense, we need to take one small topic, then we have to discuss from the multiple directions. For example, if we want to discuss the concept of dosha, we have to learn from the point of Rachana Sharira, we have to learn it from the point of Kriya Sharira, from the point of Dravya Guna Vijnana, from the point of Roga Nidana, and from the point of Rashastra and Vaisheshika Kalpana Vijnana, from the point of Swastha Vrata, from the point of Agadha Tantra, from the point of Kaya Chikitsa, Shalya Shalaki Tantra, Kaumara Vritya, and Prasuti and Sri Roga Vijnana. So, like that, from the multiple angles, so we have to discuss the concept of dosha. So, when you look into the Ayurveda curriculum, so in the first professional year, we are going to learn the physiology in Ayurveda, which is termed as Kriya Sharira. When you know about each and every terms mentioned in Kriya Sharira, then in the second year we are going to learn Roga Nidana, which is nothing but altered physiology. So when you are knowing about each and every points mentioned in Ayurveda, in the third year, you are going to learn the extended learning of Roga Nidana, that is Kaya Chikitsa, which actually highlights to restore altered physiology. So whatever the other subjects which are being taught in Ayurveda curriculum in different professional years, they are supporting these three main topics. Hence, we need to know about these uh, physiology in Ayurveda, altered physiology in Ayurveda, and restoring altered physiology in Ayurveda as such that we have to be very thorough with that. So, whenever if you are learning any of the new topics, so we have to try to know about the patterns. The term pattern refers to it is repeatedly occurring events. So, for example, when a person is consuming the lassi, let's say about lassi, which is a preparation prepared out of curds wherein sugar is being added. When a person is consuming lassi, 300 ml of lassi at 10 p.m. every day for a period of 10 to 12 days, the person may develop the symptoms related to kapha dosha vitiation. So maybe in the form of the running nose, or maybe in the form of the heaviness of the head, or maybe in the form of the sputum production, or maybe in the form of what do you say that uh, the heaviness in the cheeks, etc. So that is what is considered to be kapha dosha vitiation. And when we are knowing about this, so that means the main idea or main purpose of this is to modify this particular pattern. The term modification in the sense we have to immediately stop this particular consumption of lassi. In return, we have to create a new pattern. So that is the drinking hot water or otherwise the drinking green tea without adding milk. When this is happening, naturally the kapha dosha vitiation is going to get reduced. So that is the pattern identification and pattern modification and pattern creation, which are considered to be necessarily be done by a strong Ayurveda learner or any of the learner. So which is helpful in what do you say that the shortening or in bringing the summarizing any of the large topic into bite-sized information. When you think about the large information, bite-sized information, the information which is mentioned in bite-sized ways, which is very easy to remember, and even we can remember it for longer amount of time. And so for this, we have to learn to apply the concepts of physics, which is very much uh, deeply incorporated in Ayurveda fundamentals. So to have to do all these uh, concepts, to familiarize, to internalize, we have to follow one particular mentor. So the reason nowadays multiple or millions of what do you say that the mentors are available in the social media. If you try to follow each and every person, it is very difficult for you to follow one particular path. You are following multiple paths. It is being said, if you are keeping your legs in multiple boats, you are you are likely to fall at that particular point. It's a starting point itself. Hence, following one particular mentor is very essential. And whenever if you are learning Ayurveda information, learn Ayurveda information as Ayurveda information and learn Western information as Western information. And we have to club these informations at regular intervals. If you are able to connect these Ayurveda information and Western information at regular intervals, then that indicates we are moving in the right direction. And lastly, whenever if you are learning Ayurveda, that should be learned like learning a new language. So that means most frequently used words should be dealt first, then less frequently used words, then less frequently used words. This is how we are going to concretize the information which have been mentioned in Ayurveda. So whenever if you now let us look into the concept of Dhatupaka. It is being mentioned Dhatupaka dhanti malapaka vimunchati. When you say about Doshapaka and Dhatupaka, Doshapaka is considered to be beneficial to the body, whereas Dhatupaka is considered to be harmful to the body. This is the description available in second chapter of Madhyama Nidana while they discussing about the prognosis of Jwara. That is Sadhya Sadhyata of Jwara. Now, let us look into the concept of Dhatupaka in terms of Rogamarga understanding. When you say about the alimentary canal, it is being considered to be the one which is responsible for the exposure of etiological factors which is entering through the mouth. When this is happening, the pathogens are going to get multiplied either in the stomach or small intestine or the large intestine, which in turn are responsible for the inflammation to happen in the alimentary canal. When there is inflammation is happening, so these are actually inflammatory markers are being produced at the time of inflammation. They are going to get into the intravascular compartment. When that intravascular compartment that these are entering, from there it will be entering into the interstitial compartment at the capillary level, and from there these what do you say that the dosha, what we can say, or pathogens, they are there, they are entering into the intracellular compartment. In other words, from the Abhyantara Rogamarga, they are moving into the Bahya Rogamarga. From the Abhyantara Rogamarga, they may move into the Madhyama Rogamarga. In other words, these pathogens which are multiplied at the alimentary canal level, they are going to enter into the intravascular compartment. From there, it may enter into the interstitial compartment. From there, it may enter into the intracellular compartment. This is what is considered to be Dhatupaka. And how to identify the Dhatupaka? That is being identified by these Lakshana. Nidranasho hridistambho vishtambho gaurava ruchi aratirvalahanischa dhatunam pakalakshana. Nidranasho hridistambho vishtambho gaurava ruchi. aratihi, balahanihi, cha, dhatunam, pakalakshana. When you split these, Nidra Nasha. The term Nidra Nasha refers to the person may have lack of sleep or loss of sleep or reduced sleep. Whenever any kind of the discomfort happens, if it is very severe enough, that may disturb the whole sleeping process itself. For example, when a person is having the abdominal pain, very severe one, so that may disturb the sleep. The person may toss in the bed because of the pain. This is Nidra Nasha, and this is indicative of a worsening pathological events in the body. Hridistambha. The term Hridistambha, that is chestness or that is the stiffness in the chest region. Probably we may say there may be a possibility of a reduced movement happening in the alimentary canal, or otherwise there may be reduced movement that is happening in the transverse column. We can say probably that could be one of the way to this tambaha. Or otherwise there may be a possibility of these, what do you say, that the macromolecules, they are going to get enter into the intravascular compartment, thereby these macromolecules they enter from the left ventricle to aorta. From there that will be moving into the coronary vessels. So that maybe this way we can even able to say this tambaha. So which may be a late manifestation where we can say stiffness that can happen in the chest. Vishtambaha. This can be specifically related to alimentary canal. That is reduced movement to happen in the stomach, small intestine or large intestine. This is attributable to the presence of macromolecules. These macromolecules they may be observed in the alimentary canal when a person is doing adhyashana or atyashana, or when a person is doing vishamashana or samashana. So this is how the reduced movement of the vata may happen, and this can happen even when the person is suppressing the urges of defecation, which in turn results in the 75% of water present in the fecal matter in the rectum that is going to get absorbed. Thereby, this may be responsible for reduced movement to happen. Vishtambaha. Gaurava, that can be observed, and the Gaurava may be related to abdomen, which is considered to be because of the presence of macromolecules in the stomach, small intestine, large intestine, or there may be reduced movements that can happen in the body parts, wherein these macromolecules they are entering into the intravascular compartment. Or otherwise, this can be attributable to the presence of sludged blood. We need to look into this concept of sludged blood in my previous video in the context of concept of kleda. We can able to know about it. Aruchihi. So this can be attributable to these particular pathogens, or the dosha is present in the alimentary canal itself, probably. When you say about it, so this can be attributable to the autonomic nervous dysfunction. Whenever there is the sympathetic nerve stimulation, the person may have reduced secretions to happen in the alimentary canal. When there is parasympathetic nerve stimulation, that is attributable to the increase in the secretions to happen. When a person is consuming, what you say, that the curds, etc., that may be responsible for the increase in the parasympathetic stimulation, which in turn results in the excessive salivation. Thereby, the person may have the, what you say, that the tastelessness can be attributable. Aratihi. Probably this can be attributable to, what do you say, that the pathological events that is getting, what do you say, that intensify probably in the deeper tissue levels, depending upon the nature of etiological factor. For this, you need to know about the impact of Nidana on the human body, or the clinical, what do you say, that the application of Srota Dushti, we can able to learn about this particular concept. Whereas Balahani, when you say about balahani, when the alimentary canal is not showing adequate, what do you say, the absorption, this actually results in the utilization of the stored energy in the body. Thus, the person may develop balahani in due course of time. So that means the person may develop metabolic acidosis features. So that means the person may have ketoacidosis that can be happened because of fat mobilization or fat metabolism, and the person may develop lactic acidosis, which is considered to be happening because of the increased muscular metabolism. So thus, to sum up, Dhatupaka is always harmful to the body. Dhatupaka refers to the movement of vitiated dosha from the Abhyantara Rogamarga to Bahya or Madhyama Rogamarga. In other words, the movement of the dosha from Koshtha to Shakha or Koshtha to Marma Astisandhi. Or other words, the Dhatupaka refers to the movement of pathogens from the alimentary canal to intravascular compartment, or from the alimentary canal to interstitial compartment, or the alimentary canal to intracellular compartment, or the movement of the pathogens to from the alimentary canal to any two or any three compartments, or all these three compartments. And the identification of Dhatupaka is by observing the nature of Nidranasha, Hridistambha, Vishtambha, Gaurava, Aruchi, Arati, and Balaha. That's all for today, dear ANA members. If you are liking this particular video, then put a thumbs up and write down what are the major key takeaways from today's session. And if you want to know some other information, then what would be that information mentioned below. And if you are liking this particular video, then spread this particular video to the true maximum Ayurveda learners so that we can make a huge movement out of this particular message. Thank you. That's all for today. Something more in the next video. Thank you.